The fight over immigration reform has been going on for years without agreement, but can this year be different? For perspective, we're joined by Congressman Lloyd Doggett, Democrat from Austin. Thanks for joining us, sir.
So good to be with you.
Now, the president is calling on Congress to take action on immigration reform again. Now, do you think this time is going to be different and we can do something before November?
Well, I think there is a way to resolve immigration reform. We need to change the immigration law, and if you want to change the law in a humane and reasonable way, the only way to do that is to change the lawmakers. So it's unlikely to happen before November. It can happen after November if enough people participate to change the people that have been blocking this, that have been enabling President Trump to have this family separation policy, who have been with either their silence or their applause supporting his bigotry, his demonization of foreigners, and his placing children in cages.
So you just say that there's no room for compromise before November and we just got to settle this thing in the election. You're already kind of walking away from the table?
There is plenty of room for compromise, but as long as Speaker Ryan blocks that compromise on behalf of Donald Trump, as he has done as recently as last week, no, there is no way to achieve a compromise unless you call a compromise wasting $25 billion on Donald Trump's wall and encouraging the kind of bigotry and anti-foreigner attitude that he has exemplified every day. He says Democrats need to fix this. He's the guy who broke it. He could fix it in a moment by abandoning some of these racist policies that he's pursued, but he's been unwilling to do that. And as long as he has a Republican Congress that can find no wrong in any of his tweets or insults or bad policies, this will continue to occur.
Now, we just heard from your fellow House Democrat, Henry Cuellar. He said the debate over immigration reform comes down to really two issues that are in front of Congress right now. Democrats want to protect dreamers, and Republicans want money for the border wall. If Republicans say, Congressman Doggett, legal status for dreamers for the border wall, what do you say? Is that a compromise you could do?
Well, first, his analysis is very oversimplified. It's much more complex than that. As you know, about 6 years ago, the Senate passed a bipartisan compromise bill for comprehensive immigration reform. The Republicans in the House refused to let us consider that measure. If such a measure came up that included some modest border security measures, I don't believe in open borders. I think we have to have a reasonable system for entering this country. I could support that. But the idea that Donald Trump would hold our dreamers hostage, their future, all that they are contributing right now in our community, that he would hold them hostage along with these children in cages in order to get $25 billion ransom for a border wall, that's wrong, and I would not support that.
Now, some people on the left in your party have been recently calling for the abolishing ICE. Is that something that you would support?
We will always need to have some enforcement agency, whatever it might be called, to police our borders and to take care of those who enter our country improperly. I understand the concerns that many people voice about ICE. I've dealt with them personally. I've seen their unresponsiveness, their indifference in carrying out Donald Trump's wrongful policies. But I think that the call for abolition of ICE has played somewhat into his hands with tweets suggesting that Democrats want to turn over communities to MS-13 and will be after abolishing the police next. That is nonsense. We need to have our flag, our pride in our country, and our determination to keep every neighborhood secure first and foremost. One of the reasons that I reject the Trump administration policies is that when you talk to police chiefs, other local law enforcement officers, they realize these harsh policies against immigrants actually make our communities less safe. They make immigrants less willing to cooperate in reporting crime. They're often the victims of crime. We need their cooperation and their participation. We basically need compromise, comprehensive immigration reform of the type the Senate approved so long ago. But I just don't believe that that can happen this year after Speaker Ryan blocked action on the Dreamers and where so many Republicans are tied to Donald Trump in every way.
Congressman Doggett, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you. So good to be with you.